They call it Sophia. Have you ever felt like you're carrying a wisdom so ancient, so complete, that speaking it out loud would only diminish it? There's a term for this in Gnostic mysticism. They call it Sophia, divine wisdom, not the kind you learn from books or teachers, but the kind that remembers itself through you when you finally stop searching and start listening. I'm going to tell you something that might shake you. If you've reached the Sophia stage, the final threshold of awakening in the Gnostic tradition, you already know it. You don't need me to confirm it. But what you might need is the language, the framework, the mirror that reflects back what you've been experiencing in the silence of your own consciousness. Because this stage, it's lonely, it's profound, and it's irreversible. Most spiritual content tells you how to get somewhere, how to achieve enlightenment, how to ascend to higher states. But what if I told you that you've already arrived? What if the seeking itself was the last illusion keeping you from recognizing what's been true all along? Listen to what I'm about to share with you, and then decide for yourself if this knowledge serves your journey. I'm not here to convince you of anything. I'm here to name what you might already be living, but haven't had words for. This is about the Sophia stage, and the 8 unmistakable signs that you've already crossed this final threshold. If even one of these signs resonates in your bones, you'll know. Because Sophia doesn't announce herself. She simply is. In the ancient Gnostic texts that were buried, burned, and forbidden for centuries, Sophia represents something far more profound than just wisdom. She is divine wisdom personified, the feminine emanation of the unknowable God who fell from the pleroma, the realm of divine fullness, into the material world. Her fall wasn't a punishment. It was a descent into matter, into forgetting, so that consciousness itself could experience the journey back home. This is your story. This is everyone's story who's ever felt like they don't belong to this world. The Gnostic path describes awakening as a series of stages. First comes the initial shock, the gnosis, the sudden knowing that something is fundamentally wrong with the reality we've been sold. Then comes the struggle, the dark night where you wrestle with archonic forces, those internal and external powers that want to keep you asleep, distracted, feeding the machine. But the Sophia stage? This is different. This is when you've integrated the fall and the return. You've become wisdom itself. You're no longer seeking enlightenment because you've recognized that you are the light that was buried beneath layers of conditioning, trauma, and collective amnesia. Most spiritual teachings won't tell you about this stage because it's uncomfortable. It doesn't fit neatly into weekend workshops or 10-step programs. The Sophia consciousness is marked by a profound aloneness, not in a painful way, but in the recognition that you're carrying something most people aren't ready to see. You've moved beyond needing validation from the sleeping world. And that, my friend, changes everything. Sign 1. You see the archons for what they are. The Gnostic texts speak of archons, rulers of this material realm who feed on human ignorance and emotional energy. Before you think this is conspiracy theory territory, let me be clear. The archons aren't little demons hiding in shadows. They're systems. Have you ever running through governments, corporations, social media algorithms, and even that voice in your head telling you you're not enough unless you consume, perform, and obey? When you reach the Sophia stage, you see these systems with crystal clarity. You're not angry anymore. You're not raging against the machine or trying to wake people up who don't want to wake up. You simply see the code running in the background of consensus reality, and you choose not to participate in programs that drain your life force. You notice how advertising manipulates desire, how news cycles manufacture fear, how social hierarchies create artificial worth. And instead of feeling powerless, you feel liberated. Because once you see the puppet strings, you can't be puppeted anymore. This doesn't mean you withdraw completely. You still engage with the world, pay your bills, interact with people. But there's a part of you that remains untouchable, sovereign, free. Sign 2. You've stopped seeking and started remembering. There's a crucial distinction in Gnostic thought between knowledge and gnosis. Knowledge is information you acquire from outside yourself. Gnosis is direct, experiential knowing that arises from within. It's remembering what you've always known, but forgot when you took on this human form. In the Sophia stage, the frantic seeking stops. You're not collecting spiritual practices like merit badges anymore. You're not jumping from guru to guru, book to book, hoping someone will finally give you the answer. You've realized the answer isn't out there. It was never out there. The divine spark, the fragment of the true God that the Gnostic mystics spoke of, is already inside you, waiting for you to stop searching long enough to recognize it. I see this shift constantly. I used to devour every spiritual teaching I could find, always feeling one insight away from finally getting it. Now I sit in silence more than I read. I trust the inner knowing more than external authority. When a question arises, I don't immediately reach for my phone. I sit with it. I let it unfold. The wisdom that emerges feels ancient, familiar, like I'm remembering something I knew before language existed. Sign 3. The pleroma feels like home. The pleroma, in Gnostic cosmology, is the fullness, the totality of divine powers existing in perfect harmony before the material world was created. It's not a place you go. It's a state of consciousness you return to. When you've reached the Sophia stage, you have moments, sometimes brief, sometimes sustained, where you feel completely held by something vast and loving. It's not the love you were taught about in religious institutions, conditional and transactional. This is the original love, the cosmic love that existed before separation, before duality, before good and evil were even concepts. You feel connected to everything and everyone, not in some abstract spiritual bypassing way, but in the bone-deep recognition that all of this, the suffering and the joy, the beauty and the horror, is part of one unfolding consciousness experiencing itself. These moments don't come through force. They come through surrender, through the willingness to let your small self dissolve into the larger self. And when you return from these states, you bring something back with you, a remembrance.
Looks like you forgot, once again, how powerful you are.